Have you ever heard this sound before? The louder sounds. If the ice cracks close to you, you can feel like a wall of vibration from the sounds, almost knocking you down.
From the Loch Ness Monster to singing ice, allow me to tell you 15 incredible recent discoveries in Antarctica. Number 15, a black hole. We have all seen ditches in our neighborhoods, but what holes in the ground were deeper than a city? Well, they just discovered one in Antarctica. The Apollonia was found in the Weddell Sea near the icy continent. Apollonia means the hole is covered with ice, so you don't know it is a hole, well, until you fall in. And guess how deep it is? The hole was measured to be over 30,000 miles, which is longer than Maine. It is safe to say that no one in that area is walking on ice anymore. Number 14, Loch Ness. Did you ever hear about those crazy mythical stories as a kid, like Sasquatch and Bigfoot? Well, one of them might just be true. It was recently discovered that Antarctica used to be home to one of the most unique creatures in the world, the Loch Ness Monster. Even though when it was found it was just fossils, it can be assumed that there were thousands that used to swim in the ocean way back when. But who knows? Maybe they're still out there, somewhere. Number 13, superpowers. Similar to the tales of the Loch Ness Monster, superpowers have always been seen as not real, but Antarctica has proven society wrong once again. We all have 5 senses: taste, smell, sight, hearing, and touch. But these adorable creatures have one more. Seals born in this area have the special ability to find the right holes in the icy tops of water to breathe through. The National Science Foundation explained the situation by saying Weddell seals have biological adaptations that allow them to dive deep, as much as hundreds of meters while hunting, but also an uncanny ability to find the breathing holes they need on the surface of the ice by using the Earth's magnetic field as a natural GPS. Could you imagine being a human GPS? Number 12, oldest ice ever. We know Antarctica for being the continent covered in ice. Even their oceans are covered in ice. But how long has the ice been there? Well, to put it simply, forever. A team called the Beyond Epica Oldest Ice set off last year to find the oldest structured ice in the world, and it's found right here. They explained their goal by saying that they will work at a remote location known as Little Dome Sea to start drilling for ice up to 1.5 million years old. Who would have thought that anything on Earth could be over 1 million years old? Number 11, coldest temperature. Speaking of Antarctica having the oldest ice in the world, it also breaks another record of having the coldest temperature in the world. It was recorded recently that the icy area hit a scary negative 98 degrees during the year, which is equal to negative 144 degrees Fahrenheit. So if you're planning on visiting the place, you better bring a parka or 4. Number 10, blood falls. A common saying in America is that if you see yellow snow, don't eat it. But for Antarctica, having different colored ice happens every day. There you can find a color of ice for almost every color in the rainbow, from bright blue snow to green ice. One of the most popular areas is called the Blood Falls, which is nothing but rich red ice. Would you touch it? Number 9, singing ice. If you are walking around town and you hear music, it might be coming from a street singer with a guitar or from a karaoke bar. But in Antarctica, the music might be coming from right under you. The continent is home to the Ross Ice Shelf, the largest floating ice in the world that makes a specific noise while it is melting that scientists have described as almost song-like. They even describe that it sounds like a strong flute being played. It even plays a different sound depending on what is happening in the environment around it. Is it weird you want to ask a block of ice for some music lessons?
The louder sounds. Being out on the ice when it sings the most is a very special experience. If the ice cracks close to you.
Number 8, underground mountains. You might find a lot under the ice of Antarctica. You could find anything from bodies of water to fresh dirt. But one thing that was recently discovered is gonna blow your mind. Under Antarctica is a mountain range. You heard us right. Under that large sheet of ice in the east area of the continent holds the Gamburtsev mountain range. It is a large area covered with trees. However, no one has yet to actually see the mountains face to face. They have always been seen on data. But who would want to see them up close? Number 7, ancient rainforest. In addition to having an entire mountain range hidden, Antarctica has many other things that are hidden under its ice, including a rainforest. This rainforest that very few people have seen is located in the west area of the continent. When scientists have observed it, they even found signs of swamps and warmer temperatures. Professor Tina F. also went into detail about the place by saying, "The preservation of this 90 million year old forest is exceptional, but even more surprising is the world it reveals. Even during months of darkness, swampy temperate rainforests were able to grow close to the South Pole, revealing an even warmer climate than we expected. Who would have thought?" Number 6. Mini Egypt. When you think of Egypt, what do you think of? Most people say hot sand, pyramids, and a whole lot of camels. Well, Antarctica may not have the camels and sand, but now they have pyramids of their own. It was recently discovered that the pyramid, made entirely out of snow, was built several years ago. A geologist, Mitch Darcy, discussed the situation by saying, "By definition, it is a nunatak, which is simply a peak of rock sticking out above a glacier or an ice sheet. This one has the shape of a pyramid, but that does not make it a human construction." What is your guess? Number 5. Mars meteorite. Mars is becoming a part of the discussion more and more in the US because we are now planning on sending human life to the planet. But they might change their mind after seeing that Mars is home to dozens of dangerous meteorites. And how do we know this? Because one came straight towards Antarctica. Not only did it head toward the continent, but it landed in the snow, protected by the hard structure of the ice. When it was eventually taken, a Belgian geologist by the name of Vinnekane talked about the situation by saying, "This is the biggest meteorite found in East Antarctica for 25 years. This is something very exceptional. When you find such a meteorite on Earth, it means that when it was in the sky, it was much larger." Number 4. Bones galore. The one negative of Antarctica is that though not many people inhabit it today, a lot of animals and humans lived on the continent thousands of years ago. So if you plan to visit, don't be shocked if you see a lot of bones on the beach. In fact, on James Ross Island, researchers discovered fossils upon fossils, ranging from ducks to dinosaurs. It was also observed that the bones came from over 50 million years ago, so you might want to bring a bone detector with you. Number 3. The Sun. The Sun was created over 4 billion years ago, which gave the humans on Earth the sunlight that we obviously use today. But apparently this continent had sunlight a little bit earlier than the rest of us did. It was recently found that on Antarctica there was a small piece of stardust called a nova that actually occurred before the Sun was even created. How weird is that? Number 2. Pirate ship. We have all heard pirate tales, some of which are actually true. Well, this one occurred right in Antarctica. The tale was about a man by the name of Shackleton, who in 1915 rowed a ship with his men called the Endurance. However, when the ship experienced difficulties, the men jumped ship and the boat was left to the sea. Today, the ship has been discovered, yet because of how it has been in the icy ocean, it's pretty much going to stay there forever. Number 1. Penguins. And lastly, we couldn't make an Antarctica list without mentioning the area's mascot, penguins. The continent is home to the most penguins found than anywhere else in the world. In fact, Antarctica is where we gain new knowledge of penguin species, including 11 different breeds of emperor penguins. So what do you think? Do you think you could tough out the weather in order to visit Antarctica? Do you think that the Loch Ness Monster is still alive? Let us know in the comments below. Give this video a like, subscribe to our channel, and hit that notification bell to be notified whenever we post a new video. Until next time.